Hello viewers, this is Amara Media Corporation. Today we have a special guest from Bahar Dar University, Assistant Professor Said Mohammed, and I am your host Brahan Wismau. The core of this program is what positive impacts will BRICS offers for Ethiopia. Stay tuned. Welcome Assistant Professor Said Mohammed. I would like to thank you first for your willingness to share us your views and ideas regarding Ethiopia's request for BRICS membership, and what impacts or positive impacts will Ethiopia's membership will bring for Ethiopia will be the core of this program. And thank you again. Would you introduce us yourself, please?
Thank you very much. My name is Said Mohammed. I am Assistant Professor of Ethiopian Textile and Fashion Technology Institute in Bahar Dar University. And I would like to thank you. I am very much happy to be here as a stage to share the view to you.
Which countries have established BRICS, and for what purpose is BRICS established? Let us start from this.
Yes, BRICS are the combination of five prominent countries. Brazil is from Latin America. Russia is from both Asia and Europe. India and China are very prominent country of Asian countries. And South Africa is from Africa. This combination of the combination of BRICS are from 4 different continents. Latin America, that includes Brazil, Africa, South Africa, and India and China is from the biggest continent of the world. From Asia, the Russias are both. Some part of the geography is from Europe, and some part of its part is from Asia. So it serves the whole. So Russia is the largest geography it has, and the population of India and China is very prominent, and is the highest populous country in the world, and there has GDP contribution also. Hardworking people, talented people contribute for a lot. This combination of resource, this combination of population, this population of contribution or integration of resource will constitute a very known prominent new development agenda it has, BRICS. So it's challenged the old empires of America. No.
19 nations, including Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Iran, and others have asked for BRICS membership, and how BRICS will be important having these giant economies.
It is very important. They have a very important contribution. As I have told you before, it is a new turning point. It's a new multipolar system now. It's establishing by BRICS. It's a new currency is establishing. A new milestone is establishing now. Because of the domination of dollars, because of the domination of Americans, because of the domination of World Bank and the IMF, because of all these discrepancies, the BRIC countries are working day and night to establish the BRICS agenda. So it has the agenda of the BRICS New Development Bank also will contribute for mega projects. Infrastructure, it aids also for mega projects. It works for sustainable development, for poverty alleviation, and also for investment cases. As you have historically understood from the back history of IMF and World Bank, the World Bank and the IMF are established in 1944 after the Second World War has been completed. It has been established by 44 countries, member countries, in America and United States. So the owner of this is America by itself. So America has dominated the two institutions as a nuclear weapons, as a tool to dominate other countries. So many countries, including Africa and Asian countries, are suffering from the domination of the Western people, the domination of colonized nations, the domination of technology, dollars. All these are contributed for the establishment of BRICS. BRICS has developed a new development bank with the objective of what I have said before. As a result, many countries are demanding to join BRICS as a mercy of two small countries, like 5 countries. The BRICS are 5 countries, but there are many countries that have followed these countries. Take, for example, African countries are following the South African, and Indian and China is followed by any other countries. Brazil is also followed by Argentina, Uruguay, many countries, Turkey. Many prominent and dominant countries are following or demanding to join this. Saudi Arabia, as we have said, Saudi Arabia and Iran, Algeria, many other countries are trying to join. It has a very strategic joint there. The Saudi Arabia and the Iran peoples and the Algerians are a member of OPEC country. OPEC, when I say OPEC, Organization of Petrol Export Corporation or countries. So as a member and the huge producer of oils, Saudi Arabia is a huge producer of oils, and Iran is the huge producer of oils. They will be a very dominant actors when they join to the BRICS. And they have also very strong correlation between Russia and Iran, between China and Iran. And there are many multilateral and bilateral relationships has agreed there in many times before. So take, for example, the relationship between China and Iran has signed for the contribution of the Green Belt of China. It holds many countries of the world, and it has many countries. So they will be very dominant. They have a huge amount of money. They have a huge amount of resource. They have a huge amount of oils and gases. So they will contribute for BRICS countries. They will be dominated. They will dominate the BRICS significantly. And the old empire, the empire of America, will be isolated, will decline, and it will be again the contribution of dollars decrease from time to time nowadays. It has, so 2020 is a very dramatic years to break this, the old and the new one. And as 2020 has crossed the old and the new one. The GDP of the BRICS, the China, has increased, and the dollar domination or the reserve value of dollars of any country has decreased from 90% to 45%. Reserve was in dollars for many central bank of any country, including Ethiopia. As a result of this establishment and dramatic years of 2020, the reserve of the central banks of any country has decreased from 90% of the reserve to 45% has been decreased because of the multilateral contributions. Because many African countries, many member countries, including Ethiopia, Africa, will have relief of dollar reserve, and they will have many contribution in export and import. And as you know, Ethiopia also has suffering from the shortage of dollars. So now you can sell in the India by the Indian rupee, and you can sell also by the yen of China. You have a degree of freedom to relax, to expand your trade and development expansion.
Let's bring the idea to Ethiopia and why Ethiopia is requesting for membership in BRICS. It has been dependent on IMF and the World Bank formerly.
Yeah.
And why do you think is Ethiopia looking or eyeing for another bloc of alliance?
Yes, it's a very interesting question. Yes, historically, Ethiopia is a member of the World Bank and IMF. If I remind you the historical backgrounds of the World Bank and IMF, Ethiopia is the oldest members of IMF. Even the World Bank and the IMF have established in 1944. Ethiopia became a member of that country, a member of that institution in 1945, after a year almost, with France and Egypt. The application has been goes with France, Egypt, and Ethiopia. So Ethiopia is the oldest member of IMF and World Bank. But the contributions of the benefit from World Bank is insignificant for Ethiopia. As you have said, as you have seen, take for example, the loan has been requested by our Renaissance dams cannot be achieved by asking loans from World Bank, because the contribution of Ethiopia for World Bank is $30 to $40 million. But the dominant contributor of members is America, $85 billion. So a country who has contribution has become the dominant one. So with the ideology of free market economy, with the expansion of liberal democracy, with the respect of human rights, as an ideological, political ideology of World Bank and IMF, as a tool for America, as a nuclear tool, weapons, as a nuclear weapons of America has served for many years. All this domination for 50 years, almost 50 years, half a century, has contributed a lot for the benefit of Europeans in America. Nowadays, Ethiopia also suffering from the lack of or shortage of dollars, the reserve fund or the exchange of countries to countries, Africa to countries in dollars. The dollar domination is very significant for many countries, not only African countries, but also Asian countries, but also poor countries also, but also Latin Americans, including Brazil and Argentina. Argentina is the most and the first loan taker from World Bank, $46 million. Egypt also is $18 billion, the second one. But many African countries has not yet benefited from it. So the relief or the multipolar dimension of BRICS will serve, will open a new window for the poor countries, including Ethiopia. So Ethiopia is the one to ask to be the member of the BRICS, because Ethiopia wants to expand its trade. It's important in exporting. Take for example the trade deficit of Ethiopia. We have 3 billion or 5 billion or 4 billion export, but the import is 15 billion or 16 billion. You can see the difference. We cannot move here and there with the limitation or the framework of dollars. If Ethiopia becomes a member of BRICS, so the medium of exchange or the dollar, the medium of exchange has been changed. It ranges from Russia, India, China, with their own currencies. So they will have a freedom of market expansion for economic development, and also to be free from political dominations.
As a second most populous nation and fastest growing economy, Ethiopia have asked for membership in BRICS, And will BRICS accept this request from Ethiopia?
There is no doubt, because Ethiopia is a very dominant country in East Africa, and as you have said, that's the fastest growing country with full of resource, untapped resource, water potentials, human resource. Population has the potential to grow because they have talent. If you work hard, like China, the Indian people, population matters. And many African countries are young. 70% of the African population is young. So it is very, very prominent to change or to shift or to change the environment to break the challenge. So Ethiopia has a very nice potential to be the member of BRICS. They are also interested to accept Ethiopia. BRICS cannot be free without accepting Ethiopia, because Ethiopia has the water potential capacity, the agricultural zone of agricultural potential is very high for import and export, for exchange of goods and service from Africa to Middle East, from Middle East to Asian countries, and historically also has a linkage between Asian countries and Middle East. Historically, I have already clearly understood that the first globalizers are India and China, not Americans, at the very beginning, because of trades. There was expansion between the Middle East and India's, China's, with Ethiopian people. So Africa has a very ancient country with ancient human civilization and origin. As a result of that, many Asian countries like China and India are very needy to accept the Ethiopian contribution also.
Okay, what positive impacts will BRICS offer for Ethiopia?
As I have said, it has many mutual benefits. It balances inequality. It expands trade. It expands development, economic development. It also breaking the dictatorship, the domination of the Western countries. It breaks through the United States domination, overthrow also. The fastest growing country can be increased in an aspiration way. It helps for Ethiopia to revitalize in a peaceful manner. Revitalization is simply a peaceful changing of society from one form to another form. A peaceful way of changing country to country in a peaceful manner, an economic development. So it has many advantages and contribution, because the policy foundations, the policy foundation of IMF and the World Bank was International Monetary Corporation. So BRICS now, it substitutes the contribution of IMF and World Bank. And the second foundation, policy foundation of IMF was to expand trades and infrastructures. So it substitutes again, because the goal, the objective of the BRICS is to help in poverty alleviation, for sustainable development, for climate change protection, and for education and health. So all these, as you have seen, the contribution of China and China to Ethiopia and to Africa is very high. But when it is framed into new development bank, it also increase the contribution and the integrations between Asians and Africans.
Okay. Ethiopia has been suffering from the shortage of US dollars, and will the new BRICS currency help Ethiopia to alleviate from this shortage of US dollars?
Yes, this is a new block. This is a multipolar. This is a new steps This is a milestone for changing society from one form to another form. So the American empire will end, and the BRICS empire or the Chinese empire also begins again. So naturally, the expansion of China's investment, the help of China to African countries is very high previously. As a result of this, the banks will contribute, and also the single power potential will decrease again. As a result, you will exchange, your import and export will occur in yen or some other rupee with Russian dollars or some other things. So you have a degree of freedom to expand without using the dollar values. So as a result, the contribution of dollars and BRICS countries will not be limited at the same time. And you may use as a complementary. You may use from World Bank or from the United States of America, and you can use also the BRICS dollars. So BRICS is an alternative way of payment systems of development. So BRICS is the result of analysis, strategic thinking of leaders.
Thank you, Assistant Professor Said Mohammed, for your willingness and to share us your views and ideas regarding Ethiopia's request for membership in BRICS and the impact of Ethiopia's membership with BRICS countries. Thank you very much again.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here.
Okay.
Thank you.
This is all what we have, viewers. Thank you for viewing us, and we will see you next time with another program. See you then.